Okay, so I'm starting a new thing today. JustinGuitar, whatever this is, Module 6. I was thinking of sticking to Module 5 since it's been a while since I think, I couldn't really do it for a week. So now I'm back after a week and just moving on. 6/8 time, I don't really know what that is. I know usually we do 4/4 time. Fast changes and alternate picking. So we'll hack the G chord, learn a new time signature and more tricks. Let's see.
Doing Justin here. Welcome to lesson 6 of my beginner guitar course. We got some pretty fun stuff coming up today. We're going to check out how to play a G chord. And it's a chord that I really struggled with when I was learning guitar, but I've got like a great cheat that makes it loads easier and it sounds better. So I'm sure many of you are going to love doing that. We're going to have a little bit of a look at alternate picking as well and explain a little bit about picking mechanics. It's not something we're going to use straight away because actually we don't have a riff this week because we've got so much other stuff going on as well. We're going to have a look at a thing called time signatures, which is a really kind of, it's one of those things that beginners might find a little bit confusing, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to clarify exactly what it is. And we're going to check out playing in 6/8 time, which is a slightly different feel to the sort of strumming that we've been looking at so far. It feels a little different. And kind of people think of it as a waltz time. That's not strictly correct, but that's the kind of thing that we're looking at. We're going to learn what the names of the notes are on the open strings. I'm going to talk a little bit about forcing your chord changes, which is also really important, particularly for people who aren't using my beginner song course app, because it's an easy thing to kind of let slide if you're not playing along with somebody else or something else. And then we've got a whole bunch of awesome songs to check out for this week. So let's get cracking.
Yeah, so by the way, I need to make sure my guitar isn't in tune, so need to do that first of all, for sure. Always the tedious part. Got hair, because I cut my hair. I don't know why I'm not changing the strings yet, but I haven't. I don't even know what the G chord looks like at this point. It's going all over the place at the moment. Okay. see what's going on. Basic alternate picking, first thing. Not sure what that means exactly.
Hey, how you doing? Justin back with you for a look at alternate picking for beginners. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the kind of the mechanics here. The general idea, though, for your practice this week is just going to be having a go at doing some alternate picking. There's not a lot more purpose than that at this point. We're going to be using it straight away when we get into the next grade of beginner's course material. The picking individual strings and alternate picking is going to become a bit more of a deal. So I just want you to kind of get aware of it and have a little bit of a go at alternate picking. Alternate picking meaning playing down and up picks on individual strings. Okay, so using the down motion and the up motion. So let's do most of this in a close-up. So when we're picking individual strings, the angle of the pick and the way that it moves around the strings becomes a lot more important than it is for strumming. And this is what I want you to have a little experiment with this week. So we've already talked about the angle of the pick. If the pick is too flat onto the string, it kind of jerks over, particularly if you try and play one string like that. It just catches all the time. It's really, really cumbersome. A little angle of the pick there straight away will help the pick glide over the string. So that's the first thing I want you to try, is just go from a flat pick where that's exactly square on the strings, and then I want you to angle the pick against the string and notice that the way the pick just glides over the string a lot easier.
It's kind of hard to tell what the angle is from obviously looking from this side versus looking down. I think this is the flat version. And then the angled version, I guess, like this.
Probably find you can move it a lot faster and a lot easier with it at an angle. If I go back to it being flat, you can see straight away it kind of catches on things. So you really want that little bit of angle there. It doesn't want to be like this, right? That's silly, but you know, just 20 degrees or something like that is enough to get a nice feeling there. Note that I'm kind of revealing a bit more pick than I might usually do. Usually the pick will be a lot further snuggled into my thumb, but just so that you can see the pick clearly, I'm kind of holding it back a little bit. You wouldn't normally want that much pick showing. Now, the other part of this movement that I think is worth learning, even at this very early beginner stage, is that if you go down and up like this, kind of directly parallel to the strings, it can make string crossing a lot more difficult later on. So I'd recommend that as well as the pick being at an angle, you're also going in with the down pick and out. And when I say in, I mean in toward the guitar and then out, away from the strings. So not exactly, it's kind of more like maybe a 45-degree angle. But if you get into this habit of it going in and out, it's kind of complicated to explain to you guys right now why that's so useful and so important. But if you're going to practice picking, rather than just practicing it with the angle like that, so you can see now the plane is going this way, I want you to think about it being in and out. The pick is still at an angle. So the exercise for you this week is literally having a go at alternate picking. That's all I want you to do. It's nothing more complicated than that. There's no riff, there's no design, there's no particular amount of picks on each string or anything like that. I just want you to have a go at alternate picking. Try and get the feeling of the angle of the pick. Do try picking it flat, feeling how it kind of catches on the string, then angle it. And if you can, try and get used to this in and out motion as well. And just try it on the different strings. See what you can do. Now, picking is a really interesting thing because lots of people pick different ways. And I mean like the best of the best players. There's not really one way. The thing I'm trying to show you, I guess the proper term is called downward pick slanting. I think it's a phrase coined by a guy called Troy Grady, who runs a website called Cracking the Code, which is like a whole website dedicated to guitar picking. It's quite incredible and definitely worth a look if you've got a bit of spare time between practice sessions to go and have a look. He teaches you how to play like really super fast things, not something that beginner guitar players should be concerned with. But this approach of having the pick at an angle and this in and out motion with the pick, I think is a really great thing. Probably the best generally accepted way of picking well and picking fast. Even if you don't want to be a fast guitar player, I think it's the best approach. There are others that might not be bad, and that's kind of, again, part of what I want you to figure out a little bit. Like, what feels comfortable for you? Does it help if you anchor your little finger, if the little finger's touching on the guitar? Do you feel like it's more of an up and down thing with the wrist, or do you feel like it's a little bit more turny? Because none of the approaches are wrong at this point. I just want you to have a little bit of an experiment with this alternate picking on one string.
Still not really sure when exactly we're supposed to be practicing this. I guess it'll be in the Module 6 practice, probably. The G chord! Let's try this.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're going to check out how to play a G chord, and not just any old G chord. I'm going to teach you the G chord I wish people had taught me when I was first learning guitar as a little kid, because I struggled.
Whoa, hang on. What? Why does it have a weird noise? Wow, that's loud. It must be the gain or something. Wow, that's loud. Is it the gain? What's making it so loud? I can't really see the writing on it from this angle. I don't like the fuzzy sound that's coming from the amp. Don't know how to get rid of that right now.
Struggled with G, man. I used to, I had to look for songs that didn't have G in it because I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't change to it. It was too stretchy. My fingers just wouldn't get along with it. And what I've discovered over the years is the way that I actually really play it nearly all of the time isn't the way that people teach it. And that doesn't seem to make sense to me. So I'm going to show you the proper traditional one as well, just because I think it's worth you knowing it. But the two-finger version that I'm going to teach you, I think is the one that all beginner guitar players should be starting off with, and only learn the traditional one later on if you find a reason for it.
Oh, no.
If you find a reason for it is pretty important. So let's have a little look at our G chord.
Then why didn't they just teach this version earlier on?
Now, this is the G chord I'm going to teach you. It just involves two fingers, the second finger playing the third fret of the thickest string. That finger will also mute the fifth string. Now, you probably wouldn't be able to not mute it unless if you really angle your second fingers up like this and contort your hand, you might be able to get that fifth string open. But for most people, if you put your second finger on the third fret of the thickest string, that second finger is naturally going to lean over a little bit and mute the fifth string, and that's good. That's actually what we want. Okay? Then we've got an open fourth string, open third string, open second string, and third finger is going down. It's going to have to be quite on the tip there on the third fret of the thinner string. So just those two. Now I'm pointing.
I hate muting. I don't know why I find muting so tricky. And now I can't even really avoid the string without. I have to mute it because I need to play all the other strings.
Then we've got an open fourth string, open third string, open second string, and third finger is going down. It's going to have to be quite on the tip there on the third fret of the thinner string. So just
weird. I do not remember this chord at all, but I'm pretty sure I would have done it. Maybe you taught the other version last time, because this is an updated course from, 8-9 years ago, whenever it was that I was supposed to be learning last time, and then stopped.
Those two. Now I'm pointing my first finger out of the way. I wouldn't normally do that. It would normally just kind of hang around, but I want you to kind of see that it's just those two fingers. Okay, of course they want to be both right up next to the frets if you can.
I feel like the last string, the thinnest E string, isn't really as loud when I play it. Oh, I liked it that time. That time it sounded the same, I think.
Of course they want to be both right up next to the frets if you can. That's how you do it. Now the traditional G, the one that you find in 9 out of 10 books, also includes the first finger down here in the second fret of the 5th string, so you get this. And it's a good sounding G chord. It's the way G chord's been played for a long, long time.
I honestly feel like I should do this one, because then I don't have to worry about muting. Even though it is muted, actually. But still, I have a feeling this is probably the version he taught last time that I did. But I couldn't have told you this was a G chord before now.
But for me, this part of the chord is quite muddy, especially in rock guitar. I mean, that's a note that you definitely don't want.
Worried that when you put this in chord changes in a song, that it's not going to mute the string. I know I'm going to be self-conscious whether it's even muted every time I change to a G chord if I do this.
But even for acoustic guitar, I think that this sounds a little bit muddy compared to... Yeah, this one's sort of nice and crisp. If I add that note in. Too much weight in the bottom end for me, like the low sounds. Is the finger off? Is the finger on?
Why is he trashing the G chord though?
For me it's just a little bit muddy. It works okay in this environment where the guitar is nice and clean. We're not using any distortion. And like I said, it kind of works okay on acoustic guitar as well to have that first finger down, but I just don't think it's as good, and it's a lot harder to change to. If you're doing C to G, which is a really, really common chord sequence, to get that first finger all of the way to there, and then second finger has to be kind of up far, high enough over to get that note there underneath the first finger. It's pretty tricky. It makes it for a really difficult chord change, and if you just restrict it to those two fingers.
I'm already forgetting which finger is which now.
There's still a bit of a jump from C to G, but it's a lot.
Oh wait, what was C again? I've forgotten which ones. I've actually forgotten how to do C now. Which, are we supposed to mute? I think we're supposed to mute that top string. Oh no. That's not good.
There's still a bit of a jump from C to G.
This is going to be a nightmare trying to change between these, even with the two-fingered one. Oh no.
But it's a lot easier, and especially to D chord again. First finger just has to lift off, and it really is so much simpler, and I think better sounding as well. If you want to learn the one with your first finger down as well, there are times where that chord might sound better. Okay, it's still a G chord, it doesn't change the name or anything, it's just one of the low notes is doubled. So this note, the open second string is the note B, and this note here with the first finger is also a note B. So we've still got all the same notes, the G, B and D notes are all still present in the chord. We're just muting that one in that lower register, and I think that's a better choice for beginners most of the time. Now, when you go through to do your practice, I want you to make sure that you're muting that fifth string. So you start with your hand off for the chord perfect exercise. You're going to put the fingers down, strum, pick the notes out one at a time, making sure the fifth string is muted, okay? If it's ringing out, that means that you're using too much of the tip of your second finger there. So you want to lay that second finger back down just a little bit. So that one's muted. If it's laying down too flat, you're going to mute all of the other strings too. So it does still need to be kind of up, but you want the D string to be open, G to be open, B to be open. If the B is muted, it's almost certainly going to be the tip of that third finger sitting up a little high. Okay, so make sure that the third finger is nice on point and not touching the B string. Otherwise, I don't think you're going to have too much trouble with this chord. The two-finger version is way easier than I was anticipating, because I always, G chord, like, oh, that's the scary one. I was in my left-handed adventure. I knew that G chord was coming, and I was a bit, it was going to be a bit tricky. But you know what? It wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought doing the two-fingered version than the full three, traditional grip. It really makes such a big difference. I'm sure you're not going to have any trouble with this G chord either.
Okay. Time signatures next. Wow. A lot of vids.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're going to have a chat about time signatures. Now, a time signature is the way that we describe the feeling of the beats in a bar. Up to this point, everything's been in 4/4. So all of our strumming patterns have had 4 beats in the bar. So we've had like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of this stuff has 4 beats in the bar. We really feel that beat 1 really strong. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we always got that count of 4. But there are other grooves. You can have a different number of beats in the bar. You could have 5 or 7 beats in the bar. Those things are a little bit more complicated and are not used very often. However, there's one that is really useful for beginners to learn about, and it's called 6/8 time. And it has 6 beats in the bar, but 2 strong pulses. So even though you feel it some people describe it as a waltz time, and that's not true. A waltz is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, doom, da, da, doom, da. I'm sure you've heard of that kind of, or experienced that feeling in music before, this waltz feel, which is very much a group of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, 6/8 is a little bit similar in that it's based on these groups of 3. But we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 is still the strongest, but beat 4 is kind of strong as well. And it's important to realize that there's kind of 2 groups of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the easiest way to get familiar with the sound of 6/8 time is to listen to some songs.
So where does the 8 come from? Where does the 8 come from?
That are in 6/8 time. So some songs that you might want to check out. There's one called This Year's Love by David Gray, which is a beautiful example of 6/8 time. Everybody Hurts by REM, that's another one that's got the finger picking part going on, but that's in 6/8. Fade Into You by Mazzy Star. Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, very, very popular one that's got that 6/8 feel going on. Manic Depression by Jimi Hendrix. It's a little bit more complicated to feel the 6/8, but that's still in 6/8. And Kiss from a Rose by Seal as well is in 6/8, so that's a nice. Again, it's not quite as obvious the feeling of 6, but if you count along with those songs in 6, you'll start to get a feeling for how it's working, and that can be a
Batman Forever soundtrack, the Kiss from a Rose song.
Really valuable thing. Literally just listening to a song and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So trying to get a count along with the original recordings will really help you discover the time signature. It's by far the best way to do it. Again, just listening to some of those examples. I'll put some more examples over on the website page as well. But just listening to the songs through and trying to count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, realizing that the beat 1 and the beat 4 are a little stronger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's really an important.
Let's try this. And I already don't know what he did, so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So trying to get a count of.
I'm so confused, honestly. I don't really know what he's doing with the strumming, so. Oh no, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this strumming stuff.
Beat 1 and the beat 4 are a little stronger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's really an important part of it. Now, if you're learning a strumming pattern, which is what we're going to do as well, we're going to check out a strumming pattern in 6. When you're practicing the strumming pattern, you want to be thinking 6 down strums to the bar. Okay, because you can have an and between each one as well. So if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. You can add in ands as well, just like we did with our regular 4/4 strumming where we had 4 down strums and we could put an up on the and. We can do the same thing with 6/8. In fact, it really sounds good to do that. So a good way to get started with this is to put a metronome on. A good speed maybe as a starting point would be something like 130 beats per minute. And if you press play on that, you've got that nice little click. That would be all of the down strums. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And literally play along like that. Think about the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well,
If you
I do have a metronome on the website, his website. Let's try that. So, there's that.
You could get into accenting a little harder on the 1 and the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be a really helpful thing, just to get used to the feeling of playing in 6/8. When you're doing some practice on the strumming on the 1, like that, think about the time 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and literally play along like that. Think about the time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's not happening. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. One, two, three, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. It's too complicated for me. So it actually seems quite simple, but trying to do it is tricky somehow.
3, 4, 5, 6. If you can, you could get into accenting a little harder on the 1 and the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be a really helpful thing, just to get used to the feeling of playing in 6/8. When you're doing some practice on the strumming, and if you watch my left-handed ones, you'll see that actually I am only putting 2 clicks to the bar. So I chose to set it at 60, because for me figuring out the subdivisions is fairly easy, but I thought, as actually in hindsight, I should have been teaching, playing it the way that I want you guys to do it, which is to play the down strums with every click there. It is a lot easier to learn it that way. So don't watch my lefty video and go, oh, you're doing it a different way. That's the reason is because for me, figuring out dividing the beat by 3 is relatively simple. For most of you, you might not find that so easy.
I've been doing it before. Each beat was actually an up strum and a down strum alternating, so now it's apparently all down strum. But someone told me in the chat to do it that way, so that's why I did it. Alternating the up and down with each beat. I'm not sure whether I was even meant to do it that way, but it worked for me. So, but now adding in the upbeat is going to be trickier if the upbeat isn't on the beat of the metronome.
So in the next lesson I'm going to go through a specific 6/8 strumming pattern for you to learn. But most important thing is to go and listen to some. This isn't on your practice routine, so this is going to be something you have to do in your free time. Just find a bunch of songs in 6/8, listen to them as much as you can, really get the feeling of the 6/8 in your ears, and try and count along with the music, because that's the strongest way to make a connection between things that you know and the music that you listen to.
Okay, next video. What's the strumming pattern is going to teach?
Hey, how you doing? Justin back with you for a look at a really, really nice 6/8 strumming pattern. It's definitely one that you should be working on if you're going to learn any songs in 6/8. So let's start by going through basic 6/8 time, where we're going to be strumming a down strum on every beat. So we'd have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Accenting the 1 and the 4 if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big, small, small, big, small, small, big, small, So the pattern that we're going to check out is missing beat 2 and beat 5. You end up with this: 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see that my hand is moving continuously still. So the actual movement between just doing all down strums, doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hasn't changed. I'm just missing beat 2 and putting an and after it. 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Down, up, down, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now,
What?
3 is missing beat 2 and beat 5. You end up with this: 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 5. You end up with this: 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1. The pattern that we're going to check out is missing beat 2 and beat 5. You end up with this: 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see that my hand is moving continuously still. So the actual movement between just doing all down strums, doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hasn't changed. I'm just missing beat 2 and putting an and after it. 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 6.
No. Why is that so tricky? 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and... That was wrong. What are these? Oh, it means accenting these. It must mean to accent them. I forgot what to even call those. Those little triangle things without the bottom. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh no. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1. 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6. No, that was wrong. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1.
3, 4, 5, and 6. 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Down, up, down, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Oh,
now,
I missed the 4.
this is likely to take you a little bit of practice. It's going to feel a little bit awkward the first couple of times that you try it. So you really want to be thinking 1, 2, and 3. That's the key thing here is the missing the down strum on beat 2 and on beat 5. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 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 If you've done your training properly and up until this point you've concentrated on keeping your hand moving continuously all the time, you probably won't find this strumming pattern too much of a struggle. It'll just feel a little bit weird because it's different. It's not harder. Again, practicing it really slowly is important, but you will find there will be a point where, almost like riding a bike, we're going that little bit faster, like 1, 2.
I can't actually ride a bike, so that doesn't help. Doesn't help things much in my case.
3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5.
At least I haven't tried riding a bike in many years, probably over a decade, so yeah. I don't know, if I tried to ride a bike today, I might actually be able to, but I just haven't tried in so long.
That kind of feels easier because it's that little bit faster. Again, if you add in some extra strums, if your hand keeps moving, it's okay. Particularly with this one, adding an up after beat 6 can sound real nice to have. 1, 2, and
No,
3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1. So you really can get a bit experimental here if you want. The key thing is to learn this one basic strum.
The problem is, if I get experimental, it's not going to be because I want to. It's going to be because I failed.
Pattern, get used to playing in 6/8, maybe learn a tune or two that is in 6/8 as well, so you've got to put into practice. But remember that you're kind of free to experiment with the pattern, the same as we did with the 4/4 time. You can more or less put the strumming where you like, so long as you keep your hand moving, and it's a whole
More or less. Open string note names. Yay, finally, we're getting away from this strumming. Oh no, forcing chord changes is after this.
Hey, how you doing?
And
Justin here. In
songs.
this lesson we're going to check out the note names of the open strings. This lesson is also included in my Music Theory Grade 1 course. Definitely recommend that you go and check that out as well. There'll be more about that in the next lesson, and there'll be a link in the description below. The basic idea here is we're going to learn the note names of the open strings first of all, and then that will enable us to learn all of the notes on the guitar neck eventually, but we want to start with just the open strings. The easiest way to do that is to use a thing called a mnemonic, which is where we make up a little rhyme, and the first letter of each word of the rhyme gives us our note name of the open strings. The most popular one is Eddie, 8, Dynamite, Good.
Yeah, I learned this right at the beginning. I think I saw it in his book, or I might have seen it online as well, so I do know this one.
Goodbye, Eddie. Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. That gives us an E for Eddie, A for 8, D for Dynamite, G for Goodbye, Good, B for Bye, and E for Eddie. Okay, so Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie.
Let's, yeah. Does it sound the same, I wonder?
Gives us an E for Eddie, A for 8,
Well, slow down.
Eddie. That gives us an E.
That does not sound the same. Mine sounds deeper, I think.
For Eddie, A for 8.
And I think my A sounds deeper as well.
8, D for Dynamite,
That sounds the same.
G for Goodbye,
I think that's about right.
Good, B for Bye, and E for Eddie. Okay, so
Yeah, but the E and the A sound quite deeper than they should, probably.
Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. E, A, D, G, B, E. A, Goodbye Eddie. E, A, D.
I think it's the E especially that sounds like it might not be accurate.
D, G, B, E. Really important. that you know the note names of your open strings. Now, when I learned Easter Bunny gets drunk after Easter. That kind of feels like it might not be politically correct for children to be learning that sort of thing. So that's the one I learned. I got taught it when I was 7 or 8 years old or something. So
the children do need to know about, well, I suppose there's a good message there for children. Not to eat dynamite, I suppose.
it hasn't damaged me, but it's probably not the best one for teaching young kids. But you could make up your own. In fact, if you go over and see this lesson in the music theory course, I got people to type in their own mnemonics for this, and it's a lot of fun. Every beginner guitarist dreads all enharmonics. Was one there that I can see. You really could make up any mnemonics. A lot of fun. Every beginner guitarist dreads all enharmonics. Was one there that I can see. You really could make up anything that you want in order to help you remember those open string note names, so long as you can remember whether it's the thicker string E, A, D, G, B, E, or the thinner string start E, B, G, D, A, E. I don't mind which one.
I honestly thought he taught us this already. Whoa, there's something wrong with that E string, definitely. Definitely, I think. Yeah, I think so. It's all over the place, really. But now it's sharp, so... I don't know, this E string just goes everywhere. Sharp, now flat. Sharp, sharp, flat. Goes from sharp to flat, so I don't know how to solve it. I just need to change the string, I guess. So I guess I'll just leave it for now.
Way round you learn it, so long as I tell you the fourth string, what note name is that? And you can go, oh, that's a D. Also remembering here, and just in case there was something there that you missed, we always call the thinner string string 1. You can go, oh, learn it, so long as I tell you the fourth string, what note name is that? And you can go, oh, that's a D.
The fourth string, isn't that an A? Oh, this, okay. Yeah, I guess I forgot I had 6 strings there for a second.
Also remembering here, and just in case there was something there that you missed, we always call the thinner string string 1. Okay, so it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I talk about string 6, it's definitely the thicker string, not the first string. The first string will always be the thinnest string. The third string, 1, 2, 3. 3 down, starting from the thinner string. Really, really important that you know that as well. So that's part of the connection. I'll often say on the second string, or the first string, or the fifth string. I sometimes use the letter names. A lot of other teachers prefer to use the letter names. There's nothing wrong with that. I just find it a little easier, especially when it comes to the E. If I say the E string, well, actually there's 2 E strings. Both outside strings are the note E, so it can be slightly confusing there on that front. Again, this is not included in your practice routine. This is just something I want you to do, but before you start the next lesson, is to make sure that you know from memory the note names of the open strings.
I've known this for a while. I'm so confused. I thought you taught this already. That E string definitely doesn't sound right. But I don't know what to do about it. Need to think about changing the strings soon. Which I was supposed to do like 3 months ago, I think. Forcing chord changes. Here we go.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today I want to talk a little bit about a thing called forcing the changes, which is about basically making sure that you get your chord changes done in time. Now, for those people using my beginner song course app, where you're playing along with songs all the time, you're probably not likely to be having too much problem with this, because the song doesn't stop. It keeps going. So you kind of have to catch up all the time, and that forces you to make the chord changes because it's not stopping. And that's what happens in the real world of music. If you're playing a song, you don't want it to stop. Stopping becomes really, really obvious. You can muck up the chords as much as you like, but if you stop the rhythm, everybody realizes. Non-musicians, people just listening to you, everyone will notice that you screwed it up if you stop. So if you're going along and you're going, and then you go, there we go. If you keep that strumming going and the rhythm is right, most people won't notice. But if you go, you can hear it's just kind of disjointed, and it doesn't, all of the feeling of the music has disappeared. So if you're not using the beginner song course app and doing the play along thing regularly, I really want you to work on playing with a metronome and making sure that you don't stop, that you force the chord changes to happen. There's a little bit about it. If you don't stop and you're playing with a metronome or a drum groove or whatever, a backing track, if you're doing that sort of practice, your hand feels like it's not going to be the weak part of the playing here, and it'll go faster, but faster than it will if you allow it to stop all the time. If you're used to going G and then stop and then putting your fingers down and then doing the next chord, if you're used to doing that, your fingers will be like, yeah, no, I'm cool, he'll stop, I can do this nice and slow, I don't have to hurry. Whereas if there's a beat going on, a metronome click, you straight away have to go, okay, come on, let's get there, come on, yeah, I'll do it. They kind of go, whoa, okay, he's not joking now, I have to get there. And that kind of pressure is a really good pressure for a beginner guitar player to have. Okay, there's good pressure and there's bad pressure. Sometimes pressure can make you fumble more.
I don't really know what kind of strumming you're supposed to do though, because I've forgotten all of the strumming patterns, so I don't know.
This kind of pressure where you're really trying to force those chord changes to happen at the right time, you should be doing your 1 minute changes anyway, and you should be pushing yourself in those 1 minute changes sessions to try and go as fast as you can. Don't just be relaxed and doing it like as comfortably. You should be really like, come on man, come on, you know, give yourself a little motivational chat while you're doing it and really force the chord changes to be as fast as you can. And if you combine that when you're doing your song practice, really trying to get those chords to change at the right time, put the pressure on yourself. Like I said, if you're using my app and you're used to playing along, you probably already this is happening naturally. But I wanted to include this lesson for those of you that are practicing on your own without, and maybe you've been a bit lazy with the idea of practicing with a metronome. If you have been, if that's you, use something to get the chords to change at the right time. Put the pressure on yourself. Like I said, if you're using my app and you're used to playing along, you probably already this is happening naturally. But I wanted to include this lesson for those of you that are practicing on your own without, and maybe you've been a bit lazy with the idea of practicing with a metronome. If you have been, if that's you, use something to keep you in time and to force you to make the chord changes at the right time. It's really, really important. You don't want to allow yourself to do these little stops. It's not the real world. It's not what makes music feel good. Rhythm is the driving thing in music. Even if you fluff the chords up, getting the rhythm right is the key thing. So keeping yourself in time and keeping the rhythm strong will help speed up your chord changes. As long as you're aware of that and you're aware of that pressure, and I've got to make those chord changes get a bit faster so that the rhythm doesn't stop. And this is something that I want you to practice. If you're not doing the play along stuff, I want you to really work on that this week and in the coming weeks, really focus on your timing, playing along with the metronome. There's loads of free metronomes available on the web, or cheap apps that you can get that have got metronomes, or my absolutely fantastic JustinGuitar metronome time trainer, which you should definitely check out as well, because it's a great metronome. Not trying to sell it to you or anything, it's like $1.99, so less than the price.
$1.99? What does he mean? I've got it right here for free on the website. It's right there. Certainly not changing chords that quickly though. So.
Of a decent beer, I always say. That should be your focus on your practice for songs from now on. Is making sure that you play the songs solidly in time and forcing the chord changes so that you always get your good chord on beat 1. Even if it means leaving the previous chord a little early, you want the chord on beat 1 to be your real solid chord when you're practicing songs.
Songs. How come you didn't have a riff this module to learn? I like the riffs. No riff.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're going to talk about what songs would be really great to learn for lesson 6. Now, G chord was our new chord, so you definitely want to find some songs that involve the G chord. A really nice one if you're a Neil Young fan is Unknown Legend, which is basically just a G chord and a C chord for the whole song. That could be quite a nice one.
What song was that?
The ones that I chose for my left hand of the G chord. A really nice one is our new chord, so your songs will be really great to learn for lesson 6. Now, G chord was our new chord, so you definitely want to find some songs that involve the G chord. A really nice one if you're a Neil Young fan is Unknown Legend, which is basically just a G chord and a C chord for the whole song. That could be quite a nice one. The ones that I chose for my left-handed practice were Hey Joe, because it's got all 5 of the major chord shapes. So it goes C, G, D, A, E. So you're getting practice on all of those chord changes. So that's a good...
I think I need to focus only on G and C probably at this time.
Kind of reviser. That's the one of the ones I chose. But you could choose any one, so long as you're picking a song that has a G chord in it. I think that's a really key thing. Another song that I worked on, which does also have a G chord in it, but it's in 6/8 time, was This Year's Love by David Gray, just because I think it's a really beautiful song anyway. It's a lovely, incredible songwriter, beautiful feel for that song. It works really well with that strumming pattern that I taught you earlier this lesson. So that would be a great one. Or find maybe another 6/8 song that you really like that's got simple chords. Don't go trying to learn anything too fancy. Simple chords, but is also using a G chord would be ideal. So finding something in 6/8 would be great as well. And another song that I chose for my personal lefty practice was Mad World.
I do know that one.
Just because it's such a beautiful tune. It's got quite a few different interesting chord changes. And it's a nice one for this idea of exploring dynamics and having some parts loud and some parts soft. And that kind of stuff can be really important as well. We're going to talk a little bit more about that next lesson in a bit more detail, the idea of the loud and soft and the different sections. But just being aware that, oh, it's the chorus, maybe I'm going to play a little bit louder, that kind of thing for this song would be a really good one. Country Roads, another really nice song.
I know that one.
There's loads and loads of songs that you can play now with these chords. With the chords that you've learned now, there are hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands, definitely thousands of songs that you can play, just with the chords that you've learned so far in this course. So try and find some songs that you really love by artists that you really enjoy. Even if they're a little bit challenging, at this kind of point in your journey, you want to be pushing yourself a little bit and really making the most music as you can with the tools that you've got. Because we've talked about basic strumming, we've even looked at 6/8, you've learned all of the basic chords. So you've really got a huge repertoire of songs that you might want to check out. I wouldn't be going for like too complicated ones with loads and loads of chord changes, which might just get a bit frustrating. It is still pretty early days in your guitar journey. So at this point you want to be consolidating the skills that you've got. We're going to talk a lot more about that next lesson, where we are going to consolidate everything we've done thus far. But keeping your motivation strong at this point in your journey is the most important thing. So finding those songs that you really love is the key thing. All of the other practices, it should all be focused in and focused on the songs that you're playing. That's the point of it all, right? Okay, so hopefully you'll find songs that you love in the lesson list on the website, but if you don't, please let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can add it to my app.
I would like to know how to write
get a lesson
songs.
done on it too.
I have a feeling he has a course about how to do that, but I guess I have to wait.
Hope you enjoy your practice this week. I'll see you for the practice chat shortly.
Okay, module 6. Practice, I guess. Am I going to do the practice now or not? I'm not sure. Finger stretch, alternate picking string, G chord, one you struggle with. 3 lots of changes, chord changes, strumming 6/8. I don't even remember how to strum 6/8 already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Song work for 10 minutes. Okay, well, kinda have to be honest. So, finger stretch for 1 minute. Let's do that. Okay. I haven't done this in a week. That minute went by really quickly, so, but it says 1 minute, so it used to be 2 minutes. Alternate picking for 1 minute. So, here we go with that as well. I don't know what exactly I'm meant to be picking, but let's go. There we go. That was a bunch of noise for a minute. G chord perfect, 2 minutes. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Still don't know why it's so loud. So, 2 minutes of the G chord. Put that in. Here we go. Is that the right place? I think it is. I don't even know anymore. Is this the right place? a bit more, but it's quite quiet or muted. There we go. And now we have perfect chord you struggle. So I guess that would be the I don't know. Honestly, probably the C chord, but probably I'll just keep. Should I do the C chord for a minute? I'll do the C chord. Chord changes. So I'll take this off. So I'll just hear the timer from my monitor instead, so I don't have to worry about that falling on my guitar. 1 minute chord change, G to C, and I'm probably going to mess up the chords, to be honest. I'll add on 10 seconds, I think. No, what? Not an hour. Okay. G to C. C is there. G is there. Feels weird. This feels like I need to cut the nail a bit more somehow. Nope. This is going to be tough. Let's go. G to C, 1 minute. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 5, I need to start again because I've forgotten which finger I meant to use for the G chord already. I don't actually remember. This is bad. I don't remember whether it was that finger I was messing it up. So, second finger and third finger, okay. That was bad of me. Let's try that again. Second and third finger. So I made it to 28. Not sure, as always, how perfect those chords were, but didn't make it to 30, which is okay. It's my first time doing this. Unless I did it 8 years ago, I'm not sure. Probably not. Possibly. Now it's G to D. Oh no, D. The dreaded D. G to D. Let's go. Give myself 9 seconds, 10 seconds to get ready. 4, 3, 2, 1. About 28, 29, even though clearly some of them weren't great or even good. I actually got confused at the beginning what a D chord even was, where to put my finger. I should have really got that ready in my head beforehand, practiced a couple. That sounds okay. Didn't sound particularly good, I don't think. But anyway, I'm going to be doing all this again probably tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get to 30 changes. C to D now. Okay. So, C, D, C, D. Let's go. I don't know if I've done C to D before. I might have done last time. A week ago. Not sure. 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, Still not at 30, but it was okay. Hopefully tomorrow I can get to 30, or the day after, or the day after that. Strumming 6/8 for 2 minutes, which I don't even know anymore. I don't like the strumming stuff.
Hey, how you doing, Justin? Back with you for a look at a really, really nice 6, 4, 5, 6 act 4, 5, 6 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3, 4, 5 and between 4, 5 and beat 5. You end up with this 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. You can see that my hand is moving continuously still. So the actual movement between just doing all down strums, doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, beat 2 and beat 5. You end up with this 1, 2 and 3, 4 and beat 5. You end up with this 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. You can see that my hand is moving continuously still.
Oh, I missed the 4
so
again.
the actual movement between just doing all down strums, doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hasn't changed. I'm just missing beat 2 and putting an and after it. 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. Down, up, down, down.
Oh,
up,
no,
down.
not 4 again.
1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, and 3, 4, 5 and 6. You can see that my hand 4, 5, big, small, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the pattern that we're going to 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. You can see that my hand is moving continuously still. So the actual movement between just doing all down strums, doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hasn't changed. I'm just missing beat 2 and putting an and after it. 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. Down, up, down, down, up, down. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, this is likely to take you a little bit of practice. It's going to feel a little bit 1, 2. The key thing here is the missing the down strum. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. 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 If you 1, 2.
One and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 3. Oh no, I missed the 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, 5 and 6. I always miss the 4. One and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1, 3. 1. Two. So think I've had enough of that.
And 3.
Even though I still didn't do great at it. Maybe I'll try it slower this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Okay, let's move on to the songs. It's going to be terrible. What songs am I meant to do here? Would try the one that I'm actually familiar with. Hey Joe, Mad World. Should I try that one? Yeah. Wait a minute.
Worn out places, worn out faces. Right.
I don't have to do any picking, do I? I'm kind of in a rush, by the way, so I'm going to have to skip the demonstration, I guess.
Today we're checking out Mad World, a simple version with some easy strumming. So the intro starts off with a bar of E minor, bar of A, bar of E minor, bar of A. The intro starts off with a bar of E minor, bar of A, bar of E minor, bar of A. I'd suggest you start off just by playing simple 4 to the bar strumming, learn the tune, and then apply some of these other kind of strumming and fingerstyle options if you like. So we'd have E minor for a bar, to A for a bar. Then we're into the verse. We've got E minor. Around me are G chord places.
I forgot what a G chord is. There we go. He's doing it the old way.
D chord faces, A chord faces, E minor, for the G chord races, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now, all through the verses. All through the verses, E minor.
My first problem is I can't remember the sequence. Last time I wrote it down, but don't have a pen or paper at hand right now, I think. I wonder if it tells you here. No! I really need to log in and register, but I still haven't. Strange.
All around me are G chord. Intro starts off with a bar of E minor, bar of A, bar of E minor, bar of A. I'd suggest you start off just by playing simple 4 to the bar strumming, learn the tune, and then apply some of these other kind of strumming and fingerstyle options if you like. So we'd have E minor for a bar, to A for a bar. Then we're into the verse. We've got E minor. Around me are G chord places, D chord, fingerstyle. Bar of it to go through a nice simple version with some easy, and then Then we're into the bar strumming, learn the tune and then apply some of these other kind of strumming and finger styles. So we have E minor for a bar, then A for a bar. Then we're into the verse, we got E minor.
Oh, I thought it was G.
Around me are G chord play. Then we're into the verse, we got E minor. All around me are G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces. Then we're into the verse, we got E minor. All around me are G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces.
This is not going well.
Then we're into the verse, we got E minor. All around me are G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces. Then we're into the verse, we got E minor. Around me are G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces, E minor, turn early for the G chord braces, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now, all through the verses.
Changing to D chord is quite tough. I don't know why it's always so tough. This is going terribly, but just need to remember the first things that first, remembering the sequence.
Starts off with a bar of E. Then we're into the verse. We got E minor. Around me are G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces, E minor. Turn early for the G chord braces, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now, all through the verses.
I find the G chord tricky and the D chord tricky. So
All around minor. Then we're into the verse. We got E minor. All around me are G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces, E minor. Turn early for the G chord braces, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now, all through the verses, all through the verses. E minor, one more time, G chord through this, D tomorrow, A tomorrow, three chords and I find it under A chord. Then we're into the verse, we got E minor. Around me are G chord, E minor. Around me are G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces, E minor. Turn early for the G chord braces.
too tough right now. Too tough. 1. I feel like it needs to be slower. 1. Getting to that D chord is tricky.
Then we're into the verse. We got E minor. G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces, E minor. The G chord braces, D chord nowhere.
Even though I cut my nails, it always feels like it's still not short enough, which is weird. Feels like I need to cut even more, because it feels like I can't press properly here. Even though my nail is short.
G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces, E minor, the G chord braces, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now, all through the verses, all through the verses. E minor, one more time, D chord through this, D tomorrow, A to.
I think I'll get this one eventually. It doesn't seem actually as bad as the previous ones, some of them. It's just going to that G chord and going to that D chord. So basically half of it is just too tricky.
Tell me G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces, E minor, the G chord braces, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now, all through the verses, all through the verses. E minor, one more time, D chord through this, D tomorrow, A tomorrow.
This is too tricky to learn today. I don't know.
All around me are G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces. Too early for the G chord braces, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now.
I just can't get a good press with this finger for some reason. So
G chord places. Then we're into the verse. We got E minor. G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces. E minor. Too early for the G chord braces, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now, all through the verses, all through the verses. E minor, one more time, G chord through this, D tomorrow, A.
so much for forcing the chords. Didn't help that video clearly.
Then we're into the verse. We got E minor. G chord places, D chord faces, A chord faces. E minor. Too early for the G chord braces, D chord nowhere, A chord nowhere. It's the same chord sequence again now, all through the verses, all through the verses. E minor, one more time, G chord through this, D tomorrow, A tomorrow. Three chords and I find it kinda A chord.
I'm gonna stop there because I'm probably not gonna make much progress right now, but I'll come back to it hopefully tomorrow and practice some more. Wow.